What's up and good morning, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is finally the day. Well, I hope today is finally the day. You guys have all been asking about that front grille piece in my front bumper that has supposedly been getting painted for the last like week and a half, if not more. I may have made the mistake of saying no rush. I'm pretty sure what happened is they ended up forgetting about it because I called them 2 days ago. The guy I normally deal with was out. He was supposed to call me back later. Didn't. Called me the next morning saying, hey, yeah, you know, we got it painted last night. We just still got to wet sand it. Can you come tomorrow morning? Which tells me, hey, we totally forgot about it, but we painted it now. You know, it's not the end of the world. To me, it's more important that it's done right. There was no crazy SEMA rush on this. So we're gonna head over and pick that up. But first, we are going to head to the Flagship Project. Now you may be saying, Rhino, why are you going back over to the Flagship Project? You guys got some business to talk about? And well, yeah, we got some real big business we gotta deal with. Yep, you would be correct. Real important business. Obviously had to make a quick pit stop to stock up on some Girl Scout cookies. The owner of the campground's daughter was selling them, so you know, gotta get back to friends. And can we just take a second to admire the Flagship Project behind me? Or to my left, I should say. That project turned out beautiful. And it just so happens that the owners of this campground actually ended up buying another campground, which I think makes like 5 or 6 for them. I'm telling you, when I say these guys do things right, they definitely do things right. And I'm sure that campground is gonna be no exception to the rule. Well, we'll get back on the road here and head on over to the painter, and hopefully our grill is done.
She is. It's the same color as the truck. I looked it up by the color.
Perfect. Sweet. What do I owe you for it?
Oh no, I got you, man.
Really?
Yeah. I appreciate the business, dude. I'm sure we'll do business in the future. You know what I mean?
Definitely appreciate it. All right, so we got our sweet matching grill painted. We'll get this put on today. Well, I figured since we're out here and the paint shop just happens to be right down the street from Preston's, swing on by and see if they got anything cool they're working on. Oh, it looks like the old crazy custom sided Dooleys made its way back outside here. You know, I came by expecting to see something cool. I didn't know I'd see something this cool you guys are working on. Psst. Psst.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
How are you?
You got yourself?
That's great to see you. Appreciate you. Beard's looking good.
I smelled you.
Did you?
Hey, buddy, I like it. What's up with that, man?
Listen, if I could grow it like either one of you guys, I would. I'm a work in progress, though. Where's my good buddy Zachariah? Oh! Speaking of the bearded wonder himself. What's up, buddy? Oh, looks like we did a little rearranging over here.
Yeah.
What happened? You get shoved back in this corner?
No, I got tired of people walking by the box.
Oh, don't scratch the box?
Yeah.
Don't scratch the box.
That's how the last one got scratched.
Oh, that's why you had to get a new one? You have a little hairline scratching? Oh,
a whole new one.
I don't blame you. I don't know, but you can be honest with me, Zach.
ABZ log thing kicking your ass yet, or what?
Heck yeah. Has it been boring without me here?
Yeah.
Remember when you got sick of me for a while?
I wasn't sick of you. I was sick of not being able to work in your truck.
Oh, I get out of the fresh white toolbox.
I'll give you an 11 just in case it's standard.
So I decided, you know, since we're here and Zach's got all these really nice, fancy tools, that, you know, let's put on that new grill here. I'll put on my honorary Preston shirt. This one in without scratching it. It's already a much better look. I've got to say, I know you guys say I don't do leg day, and I admittedly skipped leg day probably more than I should, but yesterday was my first leg day in a long time. Not ideal to do leg day before squatting down and pulling off 500 nuts and bolts, but I have to say, this went a lot quicker and a lot easier than the back. Only problem is we got a little bit of an alignment issue on one bolt there. I don't want to put it in crooked. I also don't want to get in and ream it out yet without having touch-up paint on hand because I don't want it to rust. So I've got the touch-up paint at home. We'll worry about that later. Zach's tools came in handy. We'll take all these back to him right now. Now she's all matching, looking good, looking like it was meant to be. All right, boss, I'm all done.
Tools.
What day's payday?
Friday at midnight. Or Friday morning at midnight.
All right, deal. Well, hey, thanks, buddy. I understand now why that Snap-on stuff costs 20 grand for an impact.
Yeah. Or just for the this one right here.
What? How much is that one?
That's probably like 35 bucks. No joke.
Yeah.
I have shit, dude. There's. I think this one was 125.
See, and people wonder
It's a
why.
$100 bill right there.
Yeah, why do I pay people, or I pay a shop $100 an hour, and you know they already own.
Twisted. I still got some of the Harbor Freight.
Don't let anybody see that.
Those are the ones that you can cut apart.
Oh, there you go. That's pretty fancy. Custom right there.
Dude, Dodge shocks in the rear. They don't fit.
There you go. Well, hey, thanks, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow, huh?
Sounds good.
Keep that beard glorious. I'm catching up. You gotta watch out. I'm not catching up. So one of the reasons I actually wanted to make a video today was to talk about kind of the next step process in, as you guys know, I've been dealing with insurance on my last truck that just went completely haywire. Ended up losing a ton of money on that truck. And I want to make sure I do things right on this truck. So I've gotten a ton of advice from a bunch of different people, a bunch of different lawyers, insurance people, whatever it may be, but nobody's had like a real concise, here's what you got to do, here's a company that'll insure your truck. So to me, first things first, I'm going to get the truck appraised. And I've found an appraiser that is willing to appraise the truck, which was a feat in itself and took months to find somebody even willing to appraise it, because certain people specialize in a bunch of different things, one of which trucks like this, not exactly easy to find an appraiser for, which to me doesn't really make sense. But regardless, we found an appraiser. So basically the way his appraisal process works is, he's remote, so he doesn't actually see the truck, but he needs a ton of documentation, pictures, videos of pretty much every aspect of the truck. And as you guys know, I love taking pictures and videos, so getting all that's no problem. Then I have to essentially write up everything that's been done to the truck and provide all of the receipts that I have. And in doing that, and pay him a $300 fee, he will then produce basically a professional appraisal that at that point I can hopefully take to an insurance company and shop around and see if somebody will insure my truck at the appraised value. And I know a lot of you guys recommended a lot of companies, but so far I haven't found any that are willing to take on this truck for one reason or another. Like, I've dealt with, I've talked with Haggerty. A lot of you guys recommended Haggerty. And in calling them, I started describing the truck. They say they do classics as well as modified race vehicles, whatever it may be. They do a bunch of different things. So I thought, great, I'm gonna fit right in that category. So I talked to them, and they said, okay, well, what year is the truck? I said, well, it's a 2016. They said, ooh, yeah, no, we can't insure it. I said, well, why not? I mean, you say you do classics and modified vehicles. Like, yeah, but the truck's gotta be 15 years old or older, which to me really blows my mind. So you're telling me, like, to me, a 15-year-old truck isn't a classic truck, it's just an old truck. You're gonna tell me, was it 2019? So you're gonna tell me a 2004 GMC Denali is something that your classic car company would insure at an appraised value, but you won't insure a 2016 truck that was built as a show truck. Absolutely crazy to me. But I think once I have that paperwork in hand, it might make things might make a little more sense when I talk to insurance companies and say, hey, I could just kind of shop out with my appraisal and say, what would it take to get the truck insured at this value? Now, mind you, I'm not saying I want it to be insured at a high value and not pay more. Like, I'm willing to pay whatever it takes to insure the truck at the value it gets appraised for, which I'm also really curious to see what this thing appraises for. I know what I have in it. Well, kind of. I haven't really totaled it because I'm kind of scared to. But I knew what I had in my last truck. And in my last truck, I had $40,000 worth of stuff in it. And the insurance company's third-party appraisal, or appraiser, which we all know, is obviously going to side with the insurance company because I'm sure they give that company hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of appraisal work a year, valued $40,000 worth of stuff at $1,000, which that person should completely lose their job as an appraiser because they are absolute crap. I literally provided receipts. I don't know how you come that far off. So it's gonna be interesting. And I will obviously, you know, I don't like to talk numbers too much on the channel, but I think it'll be fun to show you guys what this thing appraises at versus maybe what I put into it. I don't know, I'm scared to even total that, but we'll see, we'll see.
Hey, B. Get off of there. You checking out my work? I know. Looks pretty good, huh? Just don't look over here. There's a missing bolt. We don't want to look at that.
And you know, the reason I'm kind of taking you guys along this whole journey from building it to insuring it to whatever we do with my truck here is so that if you guys ever try and venture into anything similar to this, whatever it may be, you'll see how it was done. Because a lot of the stuff that we're doing, nobody can give me answers on how to do it. So I'm kind of just going in blindly and trying to figure this stuff out. And hopefully by documenting it on video, it ends up helping somebody else out at some point. So we'll see. We'll see when the appraisal comes back. We'll see if we can shop around and find an insurance company willing to insure this truck, and hopefully all goes well. But now tomorrow it's supposed to be a crazy rainy day. I think we're gonna actually end up bringing the 7.3 back to Preston's shop and getting some work done to it. And hopefully, you know, fix a lot of the door issues that I'm having, because at this point now it's starting to get a little bit old. We are also going to be looking at a couple of warehouses with our good buddy Chris, because as you can see, like, there's some work that needs to be done on the trucks, and just having a nice indoor space for ourselves where we can store some tools, maybe get a lift, and really run work for it out of. It'll be really nice. So we'll take you guys along as we tour some warehouses as well. And with that, we're gonna wrap up this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching my channel. If you have not subscribed, please click the subscribe button now, though you do not miss out on any future content. Don't forget to give this video a like, aka a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out workforapparel.com, because if there's anything you want in this life, you gotta be willing to work for it. You guys are the best. Catch you in the next video.
Damn. Yeah.